Oh, sorry, I was on mute. Okay, started the recording. Let's start the session. So, you guys be on mute. Okay. So, now this is a quick revision of all the pieces, whatever we learned in all the previous classes. Okay. So, this is a rook, and rook goes in plus sign. And then, wherever it goes, if there is an empty square, it controls. If you find an opponent's piece, then it means the rook can attack that piece on its way. And if there is the own piece, like teammate, if there is its own piece, this is a white rook, if there is a white piece, it gives support. But it can do all these things in its way. Its way is like a plus sign, it can go forward, backward, and sideways. Okay, that is with the rook. Then we went on learning bishop. So bishop, there will be a light square bishop and a black square bishop. Light square bishop will always move in the light square.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, please be on mute. So light square bishop will always travel in a light square. And if you find a dark square bishop, it travels only in the dark square. Okay, so wherever it travels, if there are empty squares, it controls. If there is an opponent's piece on its way, it attacks. If there is own piece, it supports. You always control an empty square, attack opponent, support your own teammate or the same white piece. Okay, if it is white, it supports other white pieces on its way. If it is black, it supports other black pieces on its way. Okay, then we went on learning queen. So queen is the combination of rook and then bishop. So queen goes this way, this way. So that is why we say queen is a powerful piece, because it controls so many squares. All these squares, if they are empty, it controls. So this is the most powerful piece. And then similarly, all these three pieces, rook, bishop, queen, they don't jump over other pieces. Okay, they don't jump over its own piece, they don't jump over its opponent's piece, they cannot jump. Okay, so this is the way for the queen. And if they are empty, it controls. If there is an opponent's piece, it attacks. If it is own piece, then it supports. Okay, then we learned king. So king is the most important piece. Even without queen, the game still continues. But king, right? There is nothing like taking the king and putting it away from the chessboard. It is not possible. It is against the rules. King cannot be removed like other pieces and kept out of the board. It cannot be captured. It can only be checkmated. So that thing we will learn in the future classes. What is check, what is checkmate and all. For now, you just note this important thing. King cannot be picked and put out of the board. It cannot be captured. It can only be checkmated. And this king, regarding this king, we learnt a very, very important rule, which is the king will never go to a square which is controlled by the opponent. By now, you guys know what is control, right? So if there is a rook here, these three squares with respect to the king, it is controlling. The rook, opponent is controlling. So this king can never go to these squares. Okay, if you accidentally put this to f5 or f6 or f4, then that would be considered as an illegal move in the tournament. Okay, so if you make such two illegal moves, illegal means against the rules. If you make that kind of move, then you will lose the game. Even if you are in a position wherein you are going to win in one move, but still that move you have made an illegal, you lost. If that was a second illegal, you lost. Okay, so we should never make illegal moves. So that for that we have to be very clear with the basics. Okay, so now this king is restricted to only these green squares. Okay, so king can capture, but it can capture the piece which is not supported. Say for example, if there is a rook here, okay, taking the rook is possible because this rook is not backed up by any other piece. Say for example, if the rook is like this, say for example, this is the position, then he cannot pick the rook. He cannot capture the rook because when he goes here and captures, which means he's coming under the control of the other rook. Okay, so he cannot move to a square which is controlled by the opponent. So that is why if a piece is not supported, he can capture. If a piece is supported, he cannot capture. So you have to be very clear with that. And then we went on learning knight. Okay, so knight is the piece, only piece which can jump. Okay, it doesn't care about its way. All it cares is only the landing square. And how do we find the exact landing square? Two steps in the same direction, take a turn and land. And that turning square is the landing square, and that is what is important. And knights, unlike other pieces which we just now did, right? Unlike other pieces, it only controls landing square. It only supports its own piece, which is in the landing square. It only attacks the opponent's piece in the landing square. For knight, landing square is what matters. The way doesn't matter. The way is for us to understand, to find the right landing square. Okay, so knight is the only piece which can jump over pieces. It can jump over its piece. It can jump over its opponent's piece too. Okay. So this is the knight. This is the landing square. Two steps in this direction, take a turn and land. This is a landing square. So if I want to take this knight here, then this is one more landing square. I can put it here, which means it went this way and this is the landing square. That is how I found that. Okay, and then here, then it comes here and then finally reaches the destination. So for knight, landing square is what is important. Okay, and then we went on learning pawns. So this is the starting position. This is how we arrange the chessboard before we start a game. Okay, so now this pawn is going to move for the very first time. It has two options. It can go two steps or one step. That is up to you. Once it is moved, then it has only one square forward option. Okay, but pawns, knight and pawns are like unlike other pieces. Okay, the other four pieces which we did earlier, they control the way they travel, but knight controls only the landing square. Okay, but pawns, they do only one step diagonal forward, and main important thing is pawns will never move backward. Okay, it cannot capture a piece which is backward. And moreover, these things you have to know. If it is a white pawn, it starts with the second rank and then it goes towards 8th rank. Okay, for a white pawn, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is forward. Okay, if it is a black pawn, it starts with 7th rank and then 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 is what is called forward for a black. Okay, so this is how it go forward. Okay, just for example, if I just flip the board and if you are a black player sitting here, you will still have your pawns on the 7th rank. Okay, and you move forward in which way? 6th rank, 5th rank, 4th, 3rd, 2, 1. Okay, so if there is a piece here and then if there is a piece here, this pawn cannot capture. Okay, because this is forward like this. Even if I flip the board, still this pawn cannot capture because for a black pawn, 7 to 1 is forward. Okay, if it is 4th, then the forward is 3rd rank, not the 5th rank for a white, for a black pawn. Okay, and if I flip the board, the same thing for the white. Okay, a black player will view the chessboard like this and the white player will be sitting here. He will be having the pieces here and then he moves here. Okay, can he go to b3? No, it is not possible because a white pawn will always go from 2nd rank to 8th rank. Even if you flip the board, you have to remember this. For a white pawn, 5th rank, 6th rank, 7th rank, 8th rank is forward. For a black pawn, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 is what is forward. No matter how the board is flipped. Okay. still the files and ranks are same. Just the way you view would be different. Everything else is same. Okay. So and pawns. This is a pawn which is on 7th rank, which means obviously it's a black pawn. Okay. And black pawn moves to the white side of the board. It moves to the edge. Okay. Top to the first rank, and then it gets promoted. It can only get promoted to these 4 pieces. A pawn cannot be promoted to a pawn. And always remember there will be only one king in the chessboard. Okay, so it is not possible to promote to a king. So there is only one leader for black, one leader for white. And if that leader is defeated, the game is over. That's it. Okay. In olden days, they just capture the king. They don't kill the any king who lost in the war. Okay. Whoever loses the war, that king will be captured. So the same thing here we do, that we call checkmate, which we will do in the future classes. Okay, so now this pawn can either be promoted to a queen or a rook or a bishop or a knight. Only these 4 pieces. Okay, so any doubt in this? So we will, I'll quickly go with this. If you have any doubt, you can ask me right now, or if you want any clarification. Please unmute and speak if you have any doubt. If not, we'll move on to the next one. Is everyone clear with how these pieces move, how these pieces control, capture, and all those things?
Yes,
Okay, I'm not getting more answers. Only Pranamya answered.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So if you have any doubt,
Yes,
ask now,
ma'am.
because now we are going to do some exercise. Any doubt, Ritul?
No,
Yes, no, correct.
So
Yes,
everyone
no,
clear
correct.
with, sorry?
Just now we connected.
Okay. So I
Yeah,
was teaching, I was giving a quick revision on what happened in all those earlier
yeah,
classes.
yeah.
Okay, be on mute, everyone.
hello. Ma'am, I can't hear you, ma'am, and I can't see your screen.
Ma'am, you are in mute, I think.
Oh, sorry. So, Sai Charan, can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this is a move. What move did white make? How do you tell it? What move did the white make? So this is the move. Hmm? How do you tell it? The pawn is on which square?
D4.
Yes, pawn d4. Now tell me this pawn d4 is controlling which two squares?
Yeah. E5.
Very good. e5 and then
C5.
very good. Super. Now next. Ritul. So what move did the black make?
Go to E4 and
I asked you what move did the black make? So this game was played by two world champions. One is the current world champion Magnus Carlsen. One is the strongest player in chess, Gary Kasparov. Okay, he was champion for many years. Okay, so now I asked you the question is what move did the black make? So they have made a move, right? Which move is that? How do you tell it? So you have to tell where did that pawn come to which square? Name the square.
2 steps.
Again, I didn't hear you clearly. So this is d5. So you have to tell the pawn has moved to d5. Now tell me which two squares this pawn is controlling.
E4.
Very good. e4 because the black always move forward like this. From 7th rank it goes to 1st rank. Then c4. Very good. Super. Now next question, Pranjal. Now what has happened? Which move? What is the move?
The white went on, I think, C4.
Okay, in chess, let's not use much of these words. Okay, I think, I guess, no. If we start using that, then we won't become strong. Okay, so you confirm it. Where did it go? You can put your hands down to the letter and to the number, confirm, and then tell.
I can barely see that. C4.
Pawn to c4. Now, what is this pawn doing? We learned three things, right? Control, attack, support.
And support.
So what is this pawn doing?
Attacking.
Attacking which?
The black pawn that's on C5.
Very good. So you have to say the c4 pawn is attacking the black pawn on d5. Very good. Super. So now Pranamya. What move did the black move? So where did the pawn come to?
One C8.
8. Check the number again and tell. Pawns will never be on 8th rank. The two black pawn. What is the number here? So if it is difficult for you to read, if it is small, then count from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
6.
So where is the pawn? Pawn came to c6. Okay. So now if I tell this pawn is supporting this pawn, am I right or wrong?
Right.
Very good. Super. Then Litiksha. So what move
Then-
did the white move? Ritiksha, are you well? Are you
Ma'am?
okay? So what move did the white make? What is the recent move?
L shape.
Not L shape. We never learnt L shape in my class. I never taught you L shape. Knight, where did the knight go? To which square?
F3.
Yes, knight to F3. Now tell me which squares this knight is controlling. So controlling means it controls the square, empty square.
D1.
E1. No, it is not. This is not an empty square. I am only asking you.
D2.
Huh?
D2.
D2. Okay. Then
E5.
okay. Then
G5.
G5. Then
H4.
very good. Okay. So next, Litiksha, right? Okay. Then Janvi. Now tell me this knight which is on F3. Okay. Which piece it is giving support? So you can support your friend or a teammate, right? So a white piece can support only the other white piece. So which pieces it is supporting? So first step, you have to find its landing square, and if in the landing square, if there is a white piece, this knight will support. Okay,
Okay.
start. You can put your hand and check it. Okay.
Go to F5.
No, it is controlling F5. That was not my question. So this is a landing square, right? Like that, you have to find the landing square where there is a white piece.
A white piece. Go to E3.
It it cannot go to E3. So how does a knight move? 2 steps in same direction, and then it will take a turn, and then it lands. Okay, 2 steps in one direction, it takes a turn and lands. And in this landing square, there is a own piece, right? This is a white piece. This is also white piece. Same teammates, right? Now we can say this knight is supporting this pawn on d4. Okay, knight is supporting d4 pawn. Can you find one more? Two steps in same direction and one to the side. And to that side, there must be a white piece, which means the knight is supporting that piece. First, go to
Go to C. In C4, there is a pond.
C4. C for cat. C4.
No.
How will this knight go to C4? Is that 2 steps and one to the side? See, okay, you be on mute. Listen. This is a knight. Okay,
Okay.
2 steps in, be on mute. 2 steps in this direction, take a turn, and this is a landing square. 2 steps in the same direction, take a turn, this is one more landing square. Okay, 2 steps here, take a turn, this is a landing square. 2 steps, take a turn, landing square. 2 steps like this, take a turn, landing square. 2 steps, take a turn, landing square. The turning square is the landing square. Okay, this square and then this square. So these are the 8 squares. Okay,
Okay.
now see, this one is empty, so it controls. This one is empty, there are no pieces, so the knight controls g5. This one is empty, so the knight controls h4. Here there is a piece, but this is own piece, own teammate. So this is a white piece, this is also a white piece. Okay, so this white knight gives support to this pawn, because you always support your friend, right? So you always support. If you are a team, you should support your teammates so that you work together and you win, right? The same way here, the knight on its landing square has its own piece, so it is supporting. This is an empty square, it controls. It controls g1. Now here is the king. Okay, we can say it's supporting. Okay, that's still fine. Okay, since we are beginners. Okay, now 1 2 in this direction and turn to a side. This side, this square is the landing square, and this is empty, which means the knight has a control over this square. Here there is the own piece, so it supports. Okay, so this is how you have to say. So on its landing square, if it is empty, it controls. If there is the own piece on the landing square, it supports. If there is opponent's piece, it attacks. Okay, so you got it now.
Yeah.
Okay, so go to the next thing. Okay, now Janvi, can you tell me which piece this knight is supporting? Check 2 steps in the same direction and take a turn, and that turning square is the landing square. Find the landing square. Okay, so the question for you is, this knight supporting this pawn? Check if it is a landing square and tell me, Janvi. For this knight, d5 is a landing square, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. So it is supporting this pawn. This knight is supporting this pawn. Okay, be on mute. Litiksha, what is the move made by the white
Ma'am.
just now?
Ma'am.
What move did white make?
White meat, ma'am.
It was like this. Now tell me the move. How do you tell this? Knight on,
Knight move.
yeah, knight on c3. Okay, knight c3, c3. Now, what is this knight doing? Which piece it is supporting? Which piece it is attacking? Can you find and tell me?
Ma'am, E4,
E4.
E4 is attack.
E4 is
E4.
controlling. Okay, E4 is empty. So I didn't ask about control. Which piece it is attacking? You can attack only the opponent. You cannot attack an empty square, right?
Is D5.
D5. So pawn on D5, black pawn. The white knight on C3 is attacking the pawn which is on D5. Got it? Now tell me which piece this knight is supporting. Support means you have to check your own piece. Only it will support the white pieces. It doesn't support a black piece. It attacks the black. It supports the white if it is a white piece. Okay.
Miss controlling or supporting, Miss?
Supporting. I was asking you which piece it is supporting. Check the landing square, and in the landing square, if there is a own piece,
Miss C5.
C5. I mean C5. Yeah.
C4.
C4 is this square.
Yes, ma'am.
So that is not the landing square for the knight. All you have to know is which is the landing square for this knight. Okay. This one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
This. For knight, we only concern the landing square. Okay. Other squares are not our concern. So knight cares only about the landing square. Okay. Now, these are the squares, landing squares for the knight. Okay. So in this landing square, there is an opponent's piece. Since it is an opponent, it attacks. Okay. So this is an empty square. For this knight, it controls. Okay. There is a piece here.
Okay.
This is own piece, white piece. So it supports. This piece is also a white piece in its landing square. So it supports this queen. Okay. This is an empty square. So it controls.
Okay, ma'am.
This is own piece. It supports. This is an empty square. It controls. This is also an empty square which happens to be the landing square for this knight. It controls. Okay. So if it is an empty square, the two knight cares only about the landing square. It doesn't care about the way. It can still jump here. Even though if there is a piece here, it can still jump. Okay. So it cares about the landing square, and if that landing square is empty, it controls. If it has opponent's piece, it attacks. If it has its own piece, it supports. Got it?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Now, Pranamya, which move did black make? Pranamya?
Yes, ma'am.
Which move did black make? Earlier it was like this. What did the black move?
E6.
E6. Now, this pawn is here. Okay. It is giving support to which piece?
To the night.
Not the knight. No. Because pawn doesn't go this way. How does a pawn go? I mean, how does a pawn capture? One step diagonal forward, right? So this is a black pawn. For this is forward. So it controls these two squares. This is an empty square, it controls. Now is it supporting this pawn?
Yes.
So you have to always check like this and tell, okay, now this is black, this is black. One step diagonal forward to this e6 pawn here, so it gives support. Okay, so now you take this pawn. It is getting support from this pawn. It is also getting support from this pawn. These two pawns are supporting this pawn. Okay, so like that you have to check. So now you take this knight. This pawn is supporting this knight. Okay, this pawn uh, this pawn is supporting this knight. Okay, so like that you have to check. Okay, next. So Pranjal, now if this is the position, what happened?
The white pawn on C4
No,
is
no, no. Tell just what move did the white make? What was the change? Earlier it was like this. Now what did the white move?
the bishop.
On?
The bishop on C1 went on.
So we simply say it's bishop g5. Okay. So bishop went to g5. Now what is that bishop doing from g5?
It can attack on the knight.
Okay. So first thing is this is attacking the knight on f6. Okay.
And
Now who is
after attacking on the knight, it can attack on the queen.
no, now from here, let's not go hypothetical. Okay, these are world champions, they don't let pieces like that. Okay, so now from here they are the bishop is attacking here. Now who is supporting the bishop? Who is giving support to this bishop? Which piece?
The knight.
Yes, so the knight is here, 1 2, and this is the landing square, and in the landing square of the knight the bishop is placed, so the knight is giving support to this piece. Okay, very good. Next. So Ritul, what move happened now? What was the latest move? I couldn't hear you anything. So can you check your mic or can you WhatsApp me the answer? Can you send a voice message in WhatsApp?
The knight
Ah,
come to queen forward.
which queen came forward?
Black queen.
Where did the black queen? Black queen is on the same position on the dark square. It's on d8. Can you see the screen clearly?
Knight is D7, ma'am.
Yes. So the move was knight d7. Now tell me, what is this knight doing? Which pieces it is supporting? So you have to check the landing square.
The bishop, ma'am.
Which bishop?
Square.
Ah, very good. So it is giving support to this piece, and then
Giving support to is control rook B. It's control B8.
it is controlling b8. Very good. Now I was asking you about supporting. One more piece this knight is supporting. Which piece is that? It is supporting this bishop, and One more piece it is supporting. Check the landing square. Check all the landing squares, you will understand.
And the pawn.
Not the pawn. No pawns on landing square. How do you find a landing square?
It's
Two
support.
steps in same direction. Take a turn and land. So the turning square is the landing square. Find it.
No, here, ma'am.
See, two steps in same direction. Take a turn and land. You pointed. This knight is giving support to this bishop. The same thing. Two steps in the same direction. Take a turn and land. This one. So it is giving support to this f6. This knight is supporting this one. This knight is also supporting this one. Okay, you got it? Other squares are these. Okay, so they are just controlling. The knight is controlling these squares. It is supporting these two pieces. Okay, so now next. Sai Charan, what move did the white make?
The white pawn made 3 e3.
Okay, so which piece this is supporting? So which piece the pawn is supporting? Are you there? How does a pawn support? How many steps?
One step.
One step forward or diagonal?
Diagonal.
You got the answer, right? And which white piece is there on its one step diagonal?
d4.
That's it. So this is giving support to this pawn. Very simple, right?
Yes.
So, okay. So today's work for you all is to go through this recording again. Once this recording is done, I will post it, okay? Because after I finish the meeting, it will take some time to record. Once it is done, I will post it in the link. I want you to watch this, then I will give you a homework. And this lesson is very important. Okay, only when you are good at this, so we can become strong. Okay, so this is something which will be taught later. Okay, but I want to do it now so that it will be in your thinking. Okay, at least subconsciously. Okay, if you start identifying in these early stages, beginning stages, of course, if you are going to continue chess and if you are going to become a strong player, automatically subconsciously you will tend to notice all these things. Okay, so I want you to watch the recording again and then do some homeworks. Okay, can we finish the class now? So you have to know how a piece controls, how a piece attacks, how a piece supports, and chess is so dynamic. Every position changes. Okay, and in every position you got to know to identify these things so that we don't miss many major things when we actually play chess and tournaments. Okay, any doubt?
No.
No. Janvi, tell.
I don't have any doubt.
Tell Janvi.
I don't have any doubt.
Okay, you don't have any doubt. Pranamya, any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So any other doubt? Watch the recordings and then do the homework. Okay. So that if we are clear with this, then we will go to next things. Okay. We will learn new things. So okay. Bye.
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 Bye.